lot of wild stuff happening in the MMA world right now, and we're diving straight into it. First up, Khabib's team has finally clapped back at Ilia Topuria. Why? Because Topuria is still holding on to the idea of moving up in weight to fight Islam Makhachev.
I can move to the welterweight and we fight for the welterweight belt.
That dream fight? Khabib's crew clearly doesn't think it's realistic, but fans? They're eating it up. So what does the MMA world really think? Be checking reactions, predictions, and some serious warnings for Topuria, especially from Arman Tsarukyan.
What's up, everybody?
Meanwhile, Jon Jones is breaking his silence. He's had enough of the noise.
Were you the one driving the vehicle?
Oh, and Dana White just dropped a bomb, a new main event announcement. We'll get to that, but first let's talk Jon Jones. People have been congratulating him on retiring from the sport. Some are calling it the end of a legendary career, but others, not so kind. Some fans say he's running away, some say he's ducking Tom Aspinall, others believe he damaged his own legacy by leaving the way he did. But Jon Jones didn't stay silent. He came back with fire, posting, "I guess everybody else gets to retire, just not when you're still dominating." He added, "Funny how that works." And you know what? He's got a point. Some folks really think they get to decide when a fighter should stop. Forget goals. Forget family, forget life outside the cage. To them, you fight until they say it's over. But Jones? He's not playing that game. Of course, he's always had haters. People still talk about his controversial win over Dominique Reyes. And let's not forget the drug test and the suspension that followed. Sure, he served his time, but that part of his story always comes up. Then there are the fights we never got, like Jon versus Tom Aspinall or Jon versus Francis Ngannou. Those what-if matchups will always haunt MMA fans.
If you are a fighter, which he is at a very elite level, and that's the fight that people want to see, as opposed to looking at the audience out here, spanning millions and millions of people who recognize your greatness and want to see you against this guy who's been calling you out for the longest time. Handle it. Yeah. Handle it, then retire if you want to. But don't retire because guess what? There's not really a fight out there that you're interested in. This guy irritates you, so to hell with it. I'm not going to give him the privilege to fight me. It ain't about that. That audience out there who loves you, who recognizes your unquestionable greatness. We want to see you handle this guy.
So is Jon Jones the greatest fighter in MMA history? That's always going to spark debate. No, he wasn't perfect outside the octagon, but inside, his dominance was undeniable. Even Aljamain Sterling thinks Jon's legacy is still mostly intact.
I don't think Jon's retiring is a stain on his legacy either. I know some people are trying to paint that narrative, but how can a guy who's defended his championship title more than 10 times have a stain on his legacy because he decided to not fight one more time? If he got hit by a car, knock on wood, and he couldn't compete for the rest of his life, while the negotiations were still being made in the genesis of the negotiations, would people still say this is a stain on his legacy? No, so then what the hell's the difference? He doesn't want to fight him, he doesn't want to fight him. Now, as a selfish fan, the selfish fan in me, I would love to watch Jon Jones fight Tommy Aspinall. Of course I want to see Jon Jones fight Tommy Aspinall. It's a crazy fight. It's a crazy fight. But, I gotta be real, I understand the business side of things and the longevity and protecting what you've accomplished and created, where you're in a position where you don't need the fight. You don't.
But controversy keeps following Jon. This time outside the cage again. Now he's caught up in legal trouble tied to a strange incident from February 21st in New Mexico. TMZ Sports and the Albuquerque Journal reveal that Jon is facing a misdemeanor for leaving the scene of an accident. Apparently, there was a wrecked car and things got messy fast. Body cam footage has surfaced showing an officer dealing with a clearly intoxicated woman. She claimed Jones had been driving and ran off. And then out of nowhere, the officer takes a call from someone believed to be Jon Jones himself. In the footage, the guy on the phone sounds drunk, saying some pretty weird, possibly threatening things.
Were you the one driving the vehicle?
My brothers attacked the dreams, sisters, and cell phones.
He was the one driving the vehicle.
They split through us. They're the most evil people you ever meet.
That's Jon Jones.
Jon Jones?
Mm-hmm. He was the one driving the vehicle.
But they don't waste their cases with just killing you on petty crimes. But they definitely listen to conversations like this, and some of them are bored enough here to kill you. Because they listen. And they teach me to be a man while I'm done.
So, listen to me, man. He's making threats, and if he's making threats, I gotta call him up, sorry. Call him.
Well, guess what, dude? You won't be the first guy this year that that's gonna die. You'll be the second one.
And who am I speaking to? You, Jon Jones?
What? If you're untraceable, my brothers, they do way less.
One chilling line, my brothers, they kill people for way less. It got real. Fast. The officer immediately called for backup. Jon's lawyer is denying everything. He says Jon wasn't driving, he wasn't even in the car. According to him, the case is weak and will be thrown out. What do you think? Is it just more heat on Jon, or is there truth to it? Let us know in the comments. Now, let's switch gears. UFC 317 is heating up. Ilia Topuria is a huge favorite going into his fight against Charles Oliveira. The odds makers are so confident he's coming in as a 500 favorite. That's huge. But Charles Oliveira, you can never count that man out. Even though he's the underdog, Charles isn't backing down one bit. He's confident. I'm going to push forward, he said. I'm the problem in this division. I'm a lion and I'm not going to back down. Topuria wasn't impressed. He fired back.
¿Crees que él también va a mantenerse a ese estilo que hace de ser tan agresivo?
No va a poder. No va a poder. Que él puede tener una estrategia, pero después, una vez la campana suena, el combate empieza, no va a encontrar la manera de avanzar hacia adelante. Que eso es lo que sucede conmigo. Que avanzar hacia adelante, ¿con quién estás acostumbrado a hacer eso? Ese no soy yo. Lo vas a ver intentar ir hacia adelante, obviamente. No encontrará la manera de hacerlo, retrocederá, recibirá un par de golpes en la cara, intentará algún derribo y ya muy pronto verás la finalización.
Meanwhile, Beneil Dariush, who fought Oliveira, thinks Topuria has everything it takes to win.
I lean towards Ilia, but it ain't by much, man. It's just a little bit. I think Charles has a really good chance with his power, with his fakes, with, you know, if he uses his full arsenal, he's a very difficult guy to deal with.
So why do you lean Ilia? What's the kind of thing that's tipping you over the edge there?
I would say Ilia's got great power, and I think wrestling-wise, I would probably say Ilia is probably the better wrestler. So I think that's where this fight could be decided, who the better grappler is.
And don't forget what Movsar Ivlovev said about training with Topuria. He claimed he's never felt anything like it. Ilia's power and intensity are next level.
Ilia is different. He's so smart, so strong, and so hard worker. And I think he can win against Islam Makhachev and even Charles Oliveira too, because Ilia that good, you know. I know him, I train with him, and I don't felt nothing like I felt with him. Like I don't felt anything same, any close like to any other training partner, you know. I think Ilia is a little bit shorter, but I think he hits hard and his style, you know. It's like we all see that Alex Volkanovski, he's not the tallest, but how he fights, and he beat 3 times Max Holloway, tall guy, you know. Size depends how you fight, you know, like, and then I don't think size is a big difference. It depends how you fight, and Ilia's fight style is typical for, I think, for Islam and even for Charles Oliveira.
Still, you can't ignore what Charles is fighting for. It's more than just a belt. In a touching moment, Charles's wife revealed a promise he made to their baby boy Dominic. She said he already won the belt for their daughter Thalita. Now he's doing it again for Dominic. That's deep. He's not just fighting for glory, he's fighting for family. So yeah, this fight, it's going to be a war. Who do you think will take it? Drop your predictions in the comments.
These are legends we're talking about, you know? Yeah. Stopping a guy who's never been stopped in Max, beating Volk, who has long time top of the game, like Charles, another former champ who's putting on great performances. Like, man, what can I say about this guy? I'll say it again. If he does it, he's everything he said he is, man. He's a dangerous dude.
A ver cómo te quedan.
Oh! Now, let's get back to Arman Tsarukyan. He didn't hold back after Topuria criticized him for agreeing to be the backup for the Oliveira fight.
Can't come here as a backup fighter. I don't know how long did he train for this fight, but if something happens to anyone, even to me, I think that there is no possibility that something could happen with me. But who knows? No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Even with Charles, he would struggle a lot. And with me, there's like, he has no chances. No chances. Like, first round, first minutes of the fight, what he's going to do? Go for the takedowns. Bro, come on.
Arman posted, "You better pray nothing happens to Charles, because I'm the worst possible matchup for you at lightweight. There's a reason you're fighting for the title against a guy I already beat and not me." Then, Tom Aspinall gave his thoughts, and surprisingly, he's got a lot of respect for Ilia. He believes Topuria is the future of MMA.
Wow. He's got devastating power. Great grappler as well. Links everything together so well. Great for the sport. Obviously Georgian/Spanish guy, so he's mixing up nationalities, and just the future. For me, he's the future of MMA.
Definitely.
He's the next step, if you like.
Evolving of the sport.
Still, Topuria isn't letting go of that dream matchup with Islam Makhachev. He says that if he and Makhachev both win their upcoming fights, he's ready to move up to welterweight and chase a third UFC title.
So if he wants to fight, I will be here. I will defend my belt, and he can come and fight for a lightweight belt, or I can move to the welterweight and we fight for the welterweight belt. I don't care.
But not everyone believes that's a smart move, especially not Islam Makhachev's manager, Islam Makhachev. He's not impressed. In fact, he laughed it off. "He just talks a lot," he said. "He's so tiny, he won't be able to do it."
I've been interviewing you for about 10 years now. I think I kind of know your answer, but Ilia's saying if Islam wins, he's going to push to go up to welterweight after that. So
I can't control any of that, so I don't spend no energy on it. But sounds stupid to me.
Chael Sonnen chimed in too. He thinks Makhachev is finished at lightweight. No more 155 for him. That division done. In a recent video, he explained why.
You have two guys that are stars in the same area. It's Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre all over again. Who would have won? George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva. That debate still goes on. I look at that fight and I say Islam, but Ilia's the one that pushed for the fight. When we look back at this situation, the fact that Ilia entered the division, gave his belt up, tried to get the fight, I think it's going to create a real problem in the future when you're debating these two. And we got a source saying the same time that Islam knew he was going to go to 170 but didn't say anything. And therefore the call-outs of Islam were insincere. They were for show because they both had the same information, which is I'm coming up, you're going up. If that is in fact how this went for an argument into the future, it is a colossally important detail. And we've got a massive source in MMA that is claiming that's exactly what happened.
And finally, let's talk about the brand new main event Dana White just revealed. Mark your calendars, mark your calendars. UFC on September 13th is going to be wild. Diego Lopes will take on Janderson Brito Silva, and if you know these guys, you already know this is going to be all action, an absolute war.
Got some fight news for you guys. Noche UFC, Mexican Independence Day, September 13th from the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio, Texas. The main event, Diego Lopez, 22 of his 26 wins have come by finish. He'll be taking on Gene Silva, who's on a 13-fight win streak, with every one of those ending by finish. So you have Mexican Independence Day, San Antonio, Texas, from the Frost Bank Center, Diego Lopez versus Gene Silva. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.